So a simple but effective marketing ingredient that most small businesses don't even know about. Now this, about 8 years ago, I joined a marketing club, kind of like my own in the UK. And one of the first things I learned was this. Now, interestingly enough, when this penny finally dropped and I started doing some marketing every day, even if it was just for 15 or 20 minutes, it enabled me to double the size of my business in just under 9 months. So the month-on-month turnover doubled in just under 9 months by properly getting to grips with marketing every day. It's not always easy. It takes a bit of planning, but once it happens and once you make it happen, it will be no time at all before you start out marketing most of your local competition. And that's one thing we noticed. And I'm not going to go into what we did. That's another video. But this was arguably the best marketing tip I was ever given. And it's the #1 marketing advice that I give out to anyone who will listen. Interestingly enough, the overwhelming majority of people who hear this don't go on to do it. So, and that's not my fault. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it wash any dishes. So moving on. So step 1, this secret marketing ingredients. One of the things that many businesses overlook when they're doing their marketing is they talk an awful lot about themselves. We can do this. We've got that. Our team has 250 years of experience. We've been in business since 1942, and the senior partner can remember the day he opened the doors. You know, and all of this kind of stuff. We, me, us. But people don't buy because it's you, unless you're Apple. And a lot of Apple fans seem to be quite fanatic and they'll buy just about anything. But the key question to ask is, what do your customers get out of doing business with you? What's in it for them? How on earth do you make their lives better in some way, shape, or form? How do you make them feel? Do you make their lives easier, less stressful, less painful, healthier, more prosperous, more attractive? Do you help them to, save money, make money? Do you help them to feel good by looking good? What is it you do that makes your customers' lives or their businesses better? What pain are you taking away? What benefits are you bringing? What enhancement to them or their lives or their families are you bringing? And here's the interesting thing. Most people, and I'm talking about 90% of small businesses, miss this out because they're so busy talking about themselves that they misunderstand that the fact that they are selling to solve problems. If you're a service business, you're doing one of two things. You're taking away hassles, or you are making things better. When you're selling clothing, you're often doing it for a number of reasons, but often because people want to feel good about the way they look in the clothes that they wear. They're not buying the clothes just because of what they are. They're buying the clothes because of what they bring to them, their lives, their lifestyle, their self-perception, and how they believe others will perceive them. So how do you make their lives easier, better in some way, shape, or form? Step 2. This is a biggie. Do you talk about this in your marketing? You talk about what you bring to people in the messages that you send out. Do you talk about how you make the lives of your customers better? So, in other words, what am I going to get out of buying from you? And it's a key question. And I know Claire's heard this before, and also Candy. It's WIIFM. What's in it for me? And that's the only reason people buy anything, is that they can see something in it for them. Always. Very few people buy things for no reason, unless it's golf clubs or handbags. And sometimes shoes, maybe. But everybody buys for a reason. You need to work out that reason. What do I get out of being your customer? So step 3, in all of your marketing, focus on what I get out of buying from you. What do I get from you? Where's the big deal? Why are you such a big deal, sufficient for me to want to talk to you and buy? Because ultimately, if I can't see something in it for me, I can't see a perceived benefit. I can't see an enhancement to my life, business, family, finances, whatever, then I'm not going to buy, or I'm going to be less likely to buy. So, examples. I created an ad for a cosmetic dentist. Oh gosh, it must have been 15 years ago now. And he was spending quite a lot of money on marketing and didn't seem to be getting very far. And the ad was all about the teeth whitening. It was all about the techniques that he used, all about the skill that they got, the experience they had. They hadn't actually focused at all on what they were doing for their customers. So it was an ad going out into some local newspapers in the run up to Christmas. And I simply made the headline, "Look good and feel great this Christmas." And then we talked about how teeth whitening can help you have a great smile, feel more confident, and feel fab about every time you open your mouth. Now, I didn't charge them a great deal for this ad. I'm kind of kicking myself because they spent £300 in the UK on advertising, and it brought in nearly £10,000 worth of new business. I should have gone on a percentage. But the point is, it was less about the actual product and more about what the customers were going to get out of having the product. So in this particular example, I've simplified it down a bit. We have high quality teeth whitening techniques. This means that you can feel great and smile with confidence. The teeth whitening is a means to an end. I'm actually selling the feel great and smile with confidence, because that's often why people buy teeth whitening. Another example, life insurance. Have access to the whole market in life insurance. It means that you can rest easy knowing that you'll get the best cover for the best possible price. So 3 key things. You can rest easy in this knowledge. You'll get the best cover for the best possible price. And you'll notice that that benefit statement has you in it. It doesn't have us. It doesn't have we. That second sentence has you twice. You can rest easy knowing that you'll get the best cover for the best possible price. That's what I'm selling. I'm selling the assurance that you're going to get the best job possible. You're going to get the best price. You're going to get the best cover. And that gives you a confidence. And another example, at our gym, talk about what we are. This is us, who we are, what we do. Here's what's in it for you. You'll get the fitness program that's right for you and your goals. We are, as a fitness center, as a gym, we are a means to an end. You want to lose 10 kilos over the next couple of months? Right, we're the guys. It's your goal. We're here to make it happen. Okay? You want to, put on 3 or 4 kilos of extra lean muscle. Right, we've got the guys who can help you do it. It's your goal. Let's make it happen together. So I'm focusing on emphasizing what you get. It's your goals that matter to us. We're the guys who can help you get there. And you notice that second sentence again, there's 3 yous in there. No we's, no us, no me, no I. You'll get the fitness program that's right for you and your goals. It's all about you, the customer, what you get out of it. So your turn. What I'd like you to do is to write down one of your key services or products real quick. It doesn't have to be lengthy. We're not in the business of writing an essay here. And then write down what the customer gets from buying it. What's in it for them? How are they going to feel? How are you going to make their lives, their looks, their business, their finances better? Why should they talk to you? What's so good about you? How are you going to make me feel? How are you going to make my whole circumstance better? And this is the marketing approach. Here's what we have, and here's what you'll get out of it. Here's how you'll feel. Here's how you'll look. Here's how your life will be better when you become a customer. Remember, the first sentence is we, us, here's what we have. The second one is here's what you'll get when you become a customer. It's all about you, the customer. So, and if you paid any attention to the email I sent out yesterday, you're effectively selling value to the customer. You're selling the value that they get rather than the product itself. In most cases, most services and products are means to an end. People buy the end result, they don't buy the product, because most products and services are commodities. They buy it because you've shown them what's good about it for them, their circumstances, their lives, their finances, their business, whatever. You sell the value, sell the end result, because that's what people are looking for. And Jim Rohn, fantastic speaker, now dead, sadly, made a big difference to me in my own personal development. For things to change, you have to change. The second part of that is for things to get better, you have to get better.